Okay, so this is my last video about zombies and Marvel Universe superheroes that can help you out. So I'm going to do one video specifically. This one video has 4 superheroes that have only one thing in common. And these are 4 superheroes that, since we're doing solos, I'm going to do this one. I'm going to make it the last one. If I get any likes or comments on this bitch, I may make another. So these 4 superheroes: U.S.Agent, Captain Canuck, Captain America, and Vance Astro, aka Major Victory. They all have one thing in common. Of course, I would put out the one Captain Canuck comic that does not have that one thing that they have in common. And of course, this one is the same thing, and I don't know where the other Captain Canuck is. But the one thing that they all have in common is that they all use a shield. Okay? Captain Canuck does have a shield, and he's Canadian's version of Captain America and U.S.Agent. Not Major Victory, because he's from the future and he is not relevant to them. But they all have shields. Now, I can't remember if Captain Canuck actually has any mutant powers or anything, but I do know he's a super soldier, just like the guy before him, Captain America. The second American super soldier was this guy. He was the third Captain America, though, because Captain America had another guy who replaced him that I didn't know about because I clearly missed out on that one. But he had black hair. Captain America and Steve Rogers has blonde hair, and I'm pretty sure Captain Canuck does too. Vance Astro has black hair. But they all have shields, and they would all be pretty good in a fight against zombies. But sadly, with the exception of Vance Astro, they're all knocking on the option block. And the reason that is because the shield is good against inanimate objects like tanks and things like that. But I don't know how well they hold up against zombies. Now, in most of the Captain America comics, if you read them, whenever that shield hits something fleshy, it bounces back. Whenever it hits something metal, it bounces back. Vance Astro controls his power with telekinetics, but he hasn't gotten a grip on how to do it perfectly to bring it back like Cap does, and like U.S.Agent. U.S.Agent and Cap are the only two who actually can manipulate their shields to the point where it's like a part of them and it comes back. And this is without magic powers or wrist controls and stuff like that. And Cap did have a radioactive shield in one of the Avengers cartoons. I can't remember if they did it in a comic book, but I do know that he once had a laser disc shield that could come back. Okay? And honorable mention on that, Coulson also has a shield. But I don't recall him losing an arm in the comic book because the cartoon and the TV show came first than the comic. So in the comic, he could probably still have his arm if the comic is still going on, which I don't know because I stopped reading comics during the big retcon where Scarlet Witch totally fracked up the world after the Onslaught thing. So that being said, this fascination with these guys and these shields in fighting zombies. In close quarters, the shields are great. But if you have to throw them and a zombie comes up behind you and the shield doesn't make it back in time, you're pretty much fucked. Now also, Captain Canuck, he has other weapons. He has swords. So he's pretty good. If he loses the shield, he still has swords. And he's fairly trained in great martial arts, and he's also a soldier. So since he's the Canadian version of Captain America, plus he has a shield, plus he has swords, he's probably the only one that's not really knocking on the option block. Same thing with Vance Astro. And the only thing that makes Vance Astro the superior of all 3 of them is because he's a mutant and he can control the shield with telekinetic powers. However, if he doesn't get a grip on it in time, he'd have to use his telekinetic powers to wipe out the zombies that are coming behind him. Where the other ones, they use the shield, they still are good fist fighters, but just like everyone, the only thing that keeps all of them knocking on the option block door is the fact that they're human and they get tired. Zombies don't get tired because they're dead. Which is why you want a superhuman who has good cardio and the ability to recover fast. Now, Vance Astro at the topical advantage being a mutant, and he can shield himself with a telekinetic shield so that the zombies can't bite through. The other 3 men can't do that. But their clothes can be tattered, ripped, and torn, where Vance Astro's can also be tattered, ripped, and torn, but his telekinetic shield can protect him. not the shield that he throws, but his literal power of telekinetics can protect him if he throws it. And all centered for the record, we're going to touch on this before we go. Marvel distinguishes telekinetic powers in two colors in the comics. Now, this has probably been retconned, so don't hold me to it. The women have pink or purple, because Psylocke is telepathic and hers is purple. But she also makes telekinetic knives, where they're telepathic knives, but they're also purple. Jean Grey does not make knives, but she uses telekinetics when she's not using Phoenix Force Fireball. She uses telekinetic blast. Her hands are always glowing pinkish. And now Cable and most mutant men who have telekinetics, they use a blue color. I don't really think that's fair, but that's that. So I'm going to give you one more character who doesn't have a shield, but is an Omega level mutant. And he's the only Omega level mutant that I will not omit from this entire thing. He's not my favorite, but he's crazy as hell. The only Omega level mutant that I would ever take into a fight against zombies with me is Legion. And it's because Legion has so many different personalities, and each one of those personalities has a projectile power, which makes him the best O-level man. Kind of tired. It's been a rough day. Screaming about those damn lights. Each one of his mutant personalities has a mutant power, and they have control. And each one has a projectile power. Now, the reason why Franklin Richards is not on this list is because Franklin Richards is next to a god. So it's kind of not right to use him, because he could kind of just snap and the zombie apocalypse is gone and everybody's back to normal. Which, there's no fun in that. So I'm ending this saga right now on that and those specialties. If you guys like this and you have solo Avengers, X-Men, or New Warriors, or Ghost Riders, because there's been a lot of Ghost Riders that you would like me to do something on and how they would handle a zombie apocalypse. Because each Ghost Rider, by the way, they all have chains, but their vehicles are all different and have different powers as well. So you have to do the research on that. But I can tell you this as I close out. Original Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze didn't just use his chains, he also used guns. Second Ghost Rider, the first one that I ever read, because I didn't know Johnny Blaze was Ghost Rider, and I used to read the Night Stalkers. So, him, Blade, Morbius, and sometimes Black Cat went around killing vampires. But for the second Ghost Rider, Dan Koresh, him and the original Ghost Rider used a lot of chains. And the girl, I forgot what she used, and Robbie and his brother, who were both Ghost Riders in the car, they used a lot of different things too, but whatever Ghost Rider touches, he can turn into a weapon, so he'd be pretty good in a zombie apocalypse, but his pet and stare would probably be useless against zombies, because if they're dead and he doesn't know what crime they committed against other humans, it wouldn't work against them. And each Ghost Rider has that. That is their most powerful weapon, the Pennant Stare. The Pennant Stare is basically, if I've sinned against people and I've wronged them, however many people I've wronged them, he would put that into me 10,000-fold. It's also kind of like the same thing that the Crow has. If you've seen the first Crow movie, if you've read the first Crow graphic novel. And the first Crow graphic novel, that takes place over like 2 days, maybe 1 day. It's kind of hard because it's been a long time since I read it and I can't find it anywhere. But if you read it, his Pennant Stare was his strongest power, because it's all the pain that someone's caused. And not his Pennant Stare, his whatever the hell they called it. But all his pain all at once, the thing Brandon Lee did, that's the Crow's strongest power, which in effect compares with Ghost Rider's strongest power, the Pennant Stare, because he'll say, look into his eyes, all the innocent people that you have done wrong to, you now feel this power tenfold. So that being said, they couldn't use that against zombies, because the zombies are dead. Their souls aren't going to feel a damn thing, and neither their bodies. But luckily, everything they touch turns on fire, so we can just rip them up in fiery chains. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Comfy Habit number 2. I hope you enjoyed my saga on Marvel superheroes and zombies, and who would help you survive a zombie apocalypse. Again, I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm trying to improve. I'm trying to give you guys things that are weird and crazy, as well as some kung fu stuff. So please stay tuned. And by the way, I apologize profusely for the background noise because I don't have a soundproof studio because I'm poor. But if I had a soundproof studio, that's where I'd be every day, making videos and making money. Because I'd be getting movies and things like that. But when those lights are on, I'm filming. Let me show you again. When those lights are on, I'm filming. And everyone in the house knows that when those lights are on, I'm filming. Whether they all pay attention to it or not, you find out when I'm doing videos. Because I'm recording on a webcam, I cannot edit this stuff. So, if anything, you get to hear everything. I'm James Williams Jr., Comfort Driver number 2. This is 10 minutes and a half of your life that you can't get back. So thank you very much and be seeing you. Now I gotta post these damn things.